Hello, welcome to Reviews You Can Use. Today I'm showing my Diary of a Wimpy Kid collection. Because of you watching the Peanuts collection in the last video, I thought, hey, why don't I make another one of these, but it's with my Diary of a Wimpy Kid collection. Now, before we begin, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Like always, it will help support the channel and will grow the algorithm. And while you're at it, you can make sure to hit that notify so you never miss a Reviews You Can Use upload. Now, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I want to show is this I got with the 17th book. It's a poster. Check it out. Yeah, it's a poster. It even comes on the back, which is pretty cool. I like that. I got that for free at Scholastic. Then I have this, which is a do-it-yourself copy of, the do-it-yourself book. I have two copies of these. This, though, is my prized possession because it's signed by Jeff Kinney himself. Right here. It's signed by Jeff Kinney himself, which I think was awesome. So, that's kind of cool that I have that. I also have the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie diary. It's also autographed. Just to let you know, I didn't get this signed by him, unlike the do-it-yourself book. I bought this at his store, An Unlikely Story, because they sell autographed copies, so I bought it. So that's kind of cool that I also have this. And it's just the behind the scenes of the first three movies. And they made an updated version with the fourth one, and I don't like that. Alright, now let's get into the books. I only have 17 of them. I still have to get the 18th and 19th book. So here we go. We got the first one, the classic, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the red cover. Love this. I first got into Diary of a Wimpy Kid when I was like 10. So I read it like when I was in 4th grade, and then I just read them all up to here. So I like this book. This book's a part of my childhood. But the writing has evolved since then, because like if you look at the pages, just like you could tell like Jeff's writing has evolved since then. So that's also cool. And we got the blue cover, the second book, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. The good Roderick, not the stupid Charlie Wright Roderick. I like this book. It's one of my favorites. Roderick's one of my favorite characters, too. And this book's a classic for all Diary of a Wimpy Kid fans. And I did like that they made him the subject of the 17th book. But we'll get into that later. Then we got the third book, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Last Straw. It's not really one of my favorites. I mean, they do include the dad in there. I mean, he's there. But that's it, basically, for him, because we never see him again. But it's alright. That's fine. Then we have a classic for many Diary of a Wimpy Kid fans, Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days. This one, in my opinion, is one of my favorite books of all the series. It's my first favorite, actually, yeah. Like many fans of the books, this is my favorite book of the series. So this is a great book, in my opinion. That's kind of cool. Then we have, The Ugly Truth. Ugh, I don't like this book. This book I thought was and it's just not really good. I get the subject of them growing up, and I do like the stay in place, which I think was really good, but I just didn't really like it that much. This was going to be originally called Rowley's Revenge, and I would have loved that. I hope Jeff Kinney does not forget that, by the way. I hope he doesn't forget that. That's really cool. And then we got one of my favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. It's my third favorite, Cabin Fever. I do like this idea from Jeff Kinney. Greg and his family, they're trapped inside. They got to find something to do. And this is like one of the books that we see Greg is actually nice. Because there's this theory out there that Greg Heffley is a sociopath. And Jeff Kinney has stated he's not a hero. He has flaws that makes mistakes, and that's what he wanted to do in his books. Yeah. But this is one of my favorite books of the series. But it's not my favorite book. Dog Days is my favorite book. But this one, there's another book that beats it, and we'll get to that later. And then, another one of my least favorite books, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Third Wheel. The original title is going to be called Odd Man Out, but I think The Third Wheel fits better. Also, Greg Heffley, you do not remember that you're in the womb, because none of us can remember us being in our mother's womb when we are a child, or not going to be a child. But no, you cannot remember that, Greg Heffley. This one is, I really didn't like it that much, but it's okay, in my opinion. Next up, we have Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck. I mean, great cover. This was the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid book that I ever noticed, but I never read it. I noticed it in 1st grade, but I never read the books and the movies, so that's kind of cool. This book is okay. I do like the idea of Rowley having a girlfriend, and I like how Greg is just on his own, but I don't really like this book that much. It's not a classic for many Wimpy Kid fans, but this is an okay book. It's just that I don't like it that much. There's a difference, where it's an alright story, but a lot of the parts in the book are just not good, in my opinion. So this is like a 7 out of 10, in my opinion, so yeah, you got that. Now we get to The Long Haul. The book, not the stupid ass movie. That movie can burn in hell. I'm going to punch it back to hell. If I had a copy of this, like Crow Ran a Burger has a copy of this, then I'd punch it. But I don't, sadly. I do have the movies, but I'm not showing them right now. But this one is one of my favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid books of all time. So I like the idea of the road trip. They're going on a trip and things go wrong. I do like this idea, and it should have stayed that way, but they had to do it 2 more times. So you also have that. But this one started the road trip for Diary of a Wimpy Kid stories, and I like this one. So that's good too. Then we have my second favorite book of all time, Diary of a Wimpy Kid Old School. I've talked to my friends and people at my school who've read this book, and they've all said that this is their second favorite book, and I agree with them. I don't know how Jeff Kinney got this idea, but I like that he did that, where we see, like, Greg, he's starting to go outside more, he's going on these adventures, he goes on the camping trip with the dad and all of his classmates in Rowley, which I thought was very funny. I love the story of Silas Scratch, where they think it's real, but really it was made up by his father, who just found a shed, all because he just wanted that clean bathroom, which I thought was funny. But this book is my second favorite book in the series, and I really hope Jeff Kinney does something like this again. But, yeah, I don't know. He said he wants to get to 20 books in the series, but I think, yeah, because after this one, the next one coming out, and then there's the 20th, so I think we're not going to see Greg Heffley again after that. And then we got Double Down. This one, I do like the movie idea where they try to make a movie out of this, but that doesn't come to, like, the very end. But, yeah, it's an okay book. I do like the cover, though. Poor Greg Heffley. So you got that. And then we have The Getaway. I got this at a school book fair, and this was the second Diary of a Wimpy Kid book I owned. It even has my own signature. Check that out. So I like this. This book is okay. I think this is, like, they repeated, like, the road trip genre in the books, but I think they did this a little bit more better than The Long Haul, which is saying something. I do like the idea of them going to an island and them trying to escape it, but yeah, there's not that much I can say about this book. I do like the part where Roger gets sunburned, which I think is funny. But this book, it's okay. We liked the road trip idea, but Jeff Kinney, you're running out of ideas. But this one is better than The Deep End, so that's good. Then we get to my fourth favorite book of all time, The Meltdown. This one was a breath of fresh air for the series, in my opinion. This one was a breath of fresh air. Unlike where we focus on one consistent story, I like how his whole neighborhood is involved. I like how the neighborhood is not friends with each other because Greg's on Upper Surrey Street and the Lower Surrey Street, they're enemies, and I think that's a very interesting idea. And I like the Snowball arc. I do like the Snowball War arc, which is very good. I like this book, and it's my fourth favorite in the series, so I like that. Now we get to Wrecking Ball. This had a lot of talk behind it. When this book was in development, a lot of people were fearing that they were going to move, but no, that's not the case. But I do like the idea of, like, renovations. I can relate to this because during the pandemic, like, my family was going through, like, renovations and stuff, so I can relate to how Greg feels in this book. But I do like the cover. Greg's not having a good time, but this is just a good book. I like this book, and I can relate to the renovations and stuff. Now we get to another road trip story, The Deep End. Again, this is autographed copy. Jeff Kinney didn't sign this, although he did sign it, but I didn't go up to him personally and ask him to sign this. So I just bought this at his store. What do I have to say about this? This one, it's another road trip story. Like I said before, it's been done 3 times now. But unlike The Long Haul and The Getaway, this one falls the least. I do like the idea of them going to an RV park. It's just that I didn't really like this book that much. This one is not good. It's like a 3 out of 10. Now we get to Big Shot. This one... Alright, I do like the sports idea, but Jeff Kinney, maybe don't write them together, because when Jeff Kinney was writing the 15th book, he was writing this book as well. And I could kind of see the difference of how they're supposed to be, like, separate apart, but I just don't think that's a good idea. And you can see it, like, in the writing. But this one had an okay story. You have Greg going for sports, which you never see him do. But I do like this idea for a story, but it should have just been executed right. Now we get to the most recent book we have, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Diaper Overload. I don't have No Brainer, sadly, but I plan to get that. And the next book that's coming out soon, Hot Mess. But this book, this one was a clever idea. I like how they have it focused on Roderick, and it shows, like, how to be a band and what happens in, like, a group like that. And I think that's pretty cool. I like the idea. I like how Greg tags along. And this one, Greg's not mad anymore or sad. So at least you get him like that on the cover, which is pretty cool. So I like that. And I also have this. This came in because I got the Meltdown at a book fair. And I have this. This is a diary of Greg Heffley's best friend. This was like a little sneak peek to the Rowley books. I do have the Rowley books, but I don't know where they are. So I'll have to find them at some point. But I do like this. I like that I have this. It's just like a little sneak preview for the books, and I think they're awesome. So that's good. And then I got this, books from 1 to 11 I got for Christmas in a set. 12, 13, and 14 I got like a book fair. And during that time for Christmas, I got 1 to 11, and this came with it. But this isn't a signed copy, because when Jeff Kinney... my mom did this for me, along with my friend, Austin. We loved Jeff Kinney. We were obsessed with the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, and they got a copy of one of the books that we owned already, and they gave it to Jeff Kinney, and he signed it. So the do-it-yourself book you saw earlier, that's his signature. He signed it for me, and that's one of my most prized possessions of books that I have. I have other books signed by the authors, but Jeff Kinney is one of my favorite authors of all time because I just grew up reading the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. So yeah, that's one of my favorite books that I own that's signed by an author. So that's awesome. That's all for today on Reviews You Can Use. I hope you liked this video, or collection video. If you like collection videos like these, let me know if you want me to do more in the future. That is all for today. So see you next time on Reviews You Can Use. Ciao, amigos.